Hi, everybody. We are airborne, obviously, in the Cessna Citation X, uh, coming across the Atlantic back to North America. We just went down to 8X. Our destination is Kilo Foxtrot Oscar Kilo, the Gabreski Airport in West Hampton Beach, Long Island, New York, which is where I actually grew up. Um, Gabreski I have renamed Suffolk County Air Force Base Reborn. It used to be an Air Force base. Anyway, that's where we're going. And we are 530 miles out. That's 84 real-time minutes. That'll be 10 minutes at 8X. We'll get to 300 miles out and we'll go to 4X. We'll get to 150 miles out and we'll go to 2X. We'll get to 40 or 50 miles out and we'll go to normal. This is Alejandro Rojas Lucena's beautiful Cessna Citation X. This is, in my opinion, a totally pay-wear quality airplane. I've had it since 2010. It's been around for quite a while, but it's absolutely stunning. It's one of the last of the great examples of the days when, and they don't, that I know of just doesn't happen anymore, at least not in FSX, where you have freeware designers with this kind of talent. Alejandro was just, in my opinion, he was probably the best. He and his partner Brett Henderson did a lot of really nice airplanes. This one, has a 2D cockpit, which of course is accessed by hitting the F10 key, or you can cycle through the whole thing by hitting the A key, which I was just doing. I'm going to do it again. And go back to the virtual cockpit. We're at 42,500 feet. With a ground speed of 376 knots. Golly, what's the wind speed? It's only 18 miles an hour. 18 knots right in the face. 376. Well, I've got the auto throttle set at 190 knots. So that's yielding a ground speed of 376 with a 20 knot headwind. That's, nominal. I'm just looking here. We're burning 750 pounds of side. Let's verify that speed setting. Yep, 190 knots. That's, it's 507. No, I was going to say in the low to mid 500 pounds per engine is about nominal. So what have we got left? I filled her up when we left London. 46? Really? Am I reading this right? I haven't flown this airport in a couple of months. Got 4,629 pounds of fuel. When she's full, it's 12,000. But this is almost a 3,000 mile trip. And we're getting down to the end of it too. "52 minutes. I'm going to get down to 4X. we'll see if I can actually finish this flight. I've attempted to start it twice already, and I'm just really out of form here. I haven't flown this Citation X in a couple of months, and it is always the case I have found in FSX when an airplane hasn't flown in quite a while, its first takeoff, it's always, you might as well just go right to autopilot, and even then, it just needs to settle down. Well, that was the case big time with this thing going out of London City. I was so embarrassed with the takeoff, I just stopped the video. But now things have settled down a little bit. And we're getting close. We're 46 minutes out. Well, 42,000 feet at 1,000 foot a minute drop will be 42 minutes. So here, 45 minutes out, I'm going to commence descending now at 800 feet a minute. And unlike the Wilco Falcon 7X, which is a squirrely piece of crap compared to this airplane is completely reliable. When I tell it to descend at 800 feet a minute, it will do that, and it will not change until it gets to the target altitude, which for now we'll put at 10,000 feet. The auto throttle is completely reliable, so that as the nose goes down and the momentum increases, the throttles will go back. Well, very slowly. But it will maintain 190 knots airspeed. Looking pretty soupy down there. Well, we'll get the weather in a minute. I'm still 240 miles out. This is one of my favorite airplanes in the world. I just love it. Okay, why are we not descending? Because, look at this, altitude is not on. And nav is not on. Oh, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, you can see it right there. All right, it's coming back to the course line. I don't know why. Now it's hobby horsing. Usually when it's level at a very high altitude, it'll hobby horse. It was level at 42.5 and it was not hobby horsing. Now it's in a descent and it is. That will terminate it. Not too far from now, I don't think. With 35 minutes out, I'm going to increase to 900 feet a minute. I just need to calm down. I've had a couple of really bad experiences with the Wilco Falcon 7X. The one that went from Kamchatka to Karlovy Vary is still there. And to tell you the truth, I have attempted twice to fly it to London City. And both times it has given me a hard time. You know, it's just occurred to me, I've loaded it with all that gas. It's very heavy now. Well, no, that's not true because it was being very squirrely on the trip over. The first 10 minutes of the first half of that trip from Kamchatka were pandemonium. But I finally got it to settle down and I stuck with it and finished the flight. This flight was a nightmare on start out, but I would predict if I, after this flight, go and start another one, it'll go right out and it'll behave. It's typical all through FSX. If you fire up an airplane after it's been a few months and you have taken many other flights in other airplanes, the simulator is just not used to that airplane. So it will be really squirrely initially, mostly with a vertical attitude. You know, this thing just went and pointed right at the ground, and I couldn't straighten it out. It caught me by surprise. It's been a while since I've done this because I've been flying the Premier and the Falcon so much in the last couple of weeks. I got to refresh my brain. Okay, 32 minutes out. We're at 32,000. 164 nautical miles. A few more minutes and we'll go to 2x. Let's see where we are. Okay, zooming a little. Approaching the Cape. This citation has been, well, it's completing an RTW. It has been all over the world. I'm trying to recall it was at my FBO in Australia. No, wait a minute. I'll have to look at the logs. I think it went from Nantucket to Singapore in, when was it, June? The meeting between President Trump and Kim Il whatever from North Korea. So we sent some observers there, and so it was at Singapore, and then from Singapore it went to Central Russia, and then it went to India, then over the Himalayas to Central Russia, then it went to EGLC, London City, and it's been sitting there for a couple of months. So now it's finally coming back to North America after a pretty long absence. But, you know, an airplane like this is a globetrotter. It can go just about anywhere. Okay, 132 miles out. We're going to go down to 2x. Beautiful airplane, beautifully modeled, and this thing is a performance fool. It has easily a 4,000 nautical mile range. It climbs like a rocket. It's very comfortable at altitudes. It tends to hobby horse. Today was an exception. It didn't. It was steady as a rock at 42.5, but it's got enough power to get up to 50,000 if you wanted to. I don't usually go up that high, mostly because of the hobby horsing. I don't know what they do in the real world. I'm sure they're flying over 40,000 most of the time. But the Citation X is the fastest private jet on the planet. "24 minutes out, we're at 23,000. So we're going to slow the descent a little bit. Back down to 800 feet a minute. The Gabreski's main runway is 624, and that was what they used for, you know, that used to be the home of the 96th Fighter Interceptor Squadron. They had frontline fighter jets, F-101 Voodoos, F-106 Delta Darts. That was in the Kennedy period, and just not long after. And then the McNamara economic moves closed it. But that's a 10,000 foot runway. I've landed on it when I was real world flying. We used to go out there on Armed Forces Day, and they'd have all their hardware out. They'd big, bombers, and I can't remember what all. It was really fun though. When we were in grade school and junior high school, we'd go out there. They'd put on demonstrations of like the attack dogs, and they'd put on a simulated crash demonstration and a simulated fire and stuff. We were just kids. It was great fun. We loved it. See, we're still descending too fast. We got 21 minutes to get down 20,000 feet. Let's slow it down a little. It's no big deal. I'm going to hit a floor at 10,000 and then decide what to do from there, depending on how far out I am. Well, I'm 96 miles out now. No, let's get back down there because okay, let's get down to 1,000. I want to get to 10,000. In fact, I'm going to now make the target altitude 5,000. No, 4,000. That'll do. The field elevation is like 19 feet above sea level, so. And at the south level distance, let's go check, get a terminal briefing. See what runway they're landing. It'll either be 6 or 24. I bet the other one, I can't remember what it is. I'm not sure I've ever even landed on it. They have another pretty good sized runway. But 624 is definitely the primary. There we go. Two 6-4 at 13, gusting 18. Oh, okay, that's cool. It'll be 2-4. That's the direction we're headed. I had it backwards. I was thinking, oh, we'll be landing on 6. No, we'll be landing 2-4. And 2-4 has the ILS. What's the visibility? 40 miles. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, let's set it up anyway. 111. Pardon my blind old eyes. 111.7. We'll put it in just in case. So go down here to the frequencies. This is so much easier with these dependable older airplanes. 111.7. Whoops. 111.7. Make it the active radio. Okay, so now if we want it, we can have it. Let's orient it. 2-4. Okay, now we're pretty well set up. It's a relief not flying Wilco or Tornado. They are so, if you're going to be complimentary, you could say they're challenging. I think they're just squirrely and hard to work with. Tornadoes are beautiful. They hand fly very nicely. I've complimented them left and right, but their avionics suck. And all of their airplanes, when you go into nav mode, it will not hold the course line. They always drift off to the point where when you get close to the destination, you got to just go to heading mode and manually put it back on the course line in order to nominally well fly the course. Okay, see, we're almost pointed exactly at the runway now. So, we can use the ILS if we want to, but It's kind of a waste of time. We're 70 nautical miles out, 14 minutes. At 2x, that'll be 7 minutes real time. Now we're actually doing 230 some knots, which is nothing unusual, even though the auto throttle is only set at 190 knots. I'm sure you'll find the throttles all the way back. They are. The airplane's just, this airplane is so aerodynamically good. You know, it's on momentum will keep its speed up. In fact, it'll increase. If you put a descent rate in, this is only 800 feet a minute. That's enough to make it accelerate. Cessna certainly did a good job with this aircraft. Boy, you know, you think of Cessnas as like the Cessna 150, which a buddy of mine and I were partners in the real world. You know, it's a little kite. You know, it does 90 knots. It won't go above 15,000 feet to save its life. And then that same company built this thing that's a freaking rocket. I think this and the Falcon 7X, you know, no credit to Wilco, but the Falcon 7X is really the most bodacious. It's practically like an airliner. You know, that's up with a G4. I mean, you're at the top flight level of corporate private aviation. And this thing is smaller, but it's, in terms of, nothing performs as well as this thing. Okay, we are 50 miles out. Looking good. Let's have another world view. Yep. Yep. Come in a little closer. That's Long Island. That's where I grew up. We do not seem to have visual contact with the ground. Let's get another look. A lot of times you get a weather report from an airport and you're 200 miles out, you're not really getting an accurate report. You really want to take another look when you're inside 100 miles out, like we are right now. Let's see what it says. It was saying 40-mile visibility a while ago. It doesn't look that great to me from here. We might need that ILS. .264 at 13, gusts 18, visibility 40, overcast. Temperature, you gotta watch out. What's the ceiling? It's not saying what the ceiling is. You can see that it's overcast. We'll just keep that ILS ready. We're so close to the runway orientation. For 2-4, I mean, I'm not sure I even need to go to heading mode. .37 miles out, that's where we go to 1X. Down to normal. With the Falcon 7X, you have to do everything, all these things much sooner. Partly because it goes very fast, and partly because it doesn't respond to control inputs as reliably. This thing, like most other classic FSX airplanes, you tell it to do something, and it does it. I mean, I've told this to go down to, you know, it's managed its descent perfectly. I haven't even had to look at it. I told it 1,000 feet a minute, It's at 1,000 feet a minute. There it is right there. Okay, 31 miles out. Pretty close to within range of the tower. You know what? I'm going to descend a little faster. I don't want to be too high when I'm in range. I want to be there waiting for it. '27. My blind old eyes are not seeing it. '25 miles. I should have it by now. Well, just went by it. Gabreski. Damn it.
Gabreski Tower, citation 206, US length 23 miles northeast to land. Citation 206, US length, Gabreski Tower, make straight in, runway 24, altimeter 3000.
Okay.
Fly straight
Looking
in,
to me
runway
good.
24, citation 6, US length.
Going down to 3,100. Our airspeed's over 300 knots. That's all right. I'm going to punch it all in and go to full flaps, and that'll slow it right down in just a minute. 18 miles out. It's time. Gear down. Full flaps. Now it should be slowing down. We'll watch the throttles come forward. When they come forward about half, we'll go down from 4 notches of flaps to 2. Right about now. And you'll see the airspeed will be well below 200 knots. Should be. 218, no. Back to full flaps. Slow her down. Oh. See, it should be torque speed for this is 160 knots. I should have already done that. Kick in some spoilers. Get this thing slowed down. Okay, spoilers off. Flaps to halfway. Yep. Okay, now we're looking a little bit better. $12 miles out. We're going to do this GPS. Leave that in 2D cockpit. Okay, now we're looking good. 10.1, 10.0. Okay, commence. Descent. At 1,000 a minute. And pretty soon we're going to take auto throttle off. Christ, so much for 40 miles visibility. Give me another. Oh man, this sucks. See, it's lying to me. It's too late to go to the ILS now. That's alright. Let's see how close we're getting. 7372. Here it comes. Okay. Auto throttle off.
Citation 6, Kilo Mike, cleared to land, runway 24. Cleared to land, runway 24. Citation 6, Kilo Mike.
There it is. Check back on. Autopilot off. Idle down. Oh, we're not exactly pointed at it, I forgot. Alright. That's okay.
Don't sink. Don't
That's
sink.
a jot of power.
Don't sink.
The end. The last thing you want to do is stall at the end of the runway. This is a very long runway. Full flaps. Spoilers. Keep the nose pointed down.
Sink
There you
rate.
go. Very nice,
Pull
very nice.
up.
In a minute.
Pull up. Pull
Okay.
up. Sink rate.
Very nice. Very nice. Reverse. I feel vindicated. The crappy performance I've been putting on lately.
Citation 6, Kilo Mike, exit runway when able. Citation 6, Kilo Mike, contact ground on 121.8.
You bet.
One jet 1.8. Citation 6, Kilo Mike.
Flaps up. Spoilers up. Confirm. That's what you did. Get the door closed, dummy. This is crippled keys. Fingers all over the place. Didn't mean to hit the D key. A little bit of power. I've flown in here real world after, of course, it was closed. When I was flying was in the 80s. Before I lost my medical. I flew back here from Wheeling, West Virginia, where I live, where I've lived for the last 40 years. As I said, this is my FBO. And down at the end of the flight line here is my area. This is not that bad of a representation of the real thing. This airport has been a base for the New York State National Guard for a long time. Let's remember where we are here. Okay, that's right. Go down here. Make a left. And that area over there is what I consider the NPAG area. NPAG being my flight simulator company, the Northern Panhandle Aviation Group. Okay. Set the parking brake. And end the flight. And time to shut her down. This is where if you did not remember to shut off the fuel valves, starters rather, you will get a big hum now. But I did remember, I think. Well, now's what we're going to find out. Fuel valves. Yeah. Normal shutdown. Very nice. The doors. Okay. Shut the worthless FMC off. It's not worthless, but I never use it. Shut the lights off. And shut the batteries off. Cold and dark. And that's that. Thanks for coming along, and we'll see you next time.